Hello, Witchwood Barns in Toronto. It's Brian Malloy here from Silky Smooth Painting, helping you get gorgeous, long-lasting paint jobs in the St. Clair West area. I'm just here on Henderson in front of the Toronto Fire Station number 23, and I was walking by admiring the way they did the color scheme here, because it's a really good example of color context and like picking colors that really work well with what I call fixed elements, or things that aren't going to change. So they've picked an awesome red, and they've picked an awesome sort of tan color that goes really, really well with the sort of greeny, earthy brick. So I'm going to flip this around. I'm not going to talk too much about the color in this video, but I want to show you. They've actually made, looks like, some wise decisions as to how to slowly and methodically update the station. So let me just flip this around here and show you here. Cool. So the number one thing that they did is that you can always color. You can make anything in any color these days. So step number one, if you pick a really good color, is you can get it in anything, and you can make that anything last. So you pick color first, and then materials second. So the first thing you did is pick some really good colors. The second thing that you can see that they're doing is they seem to be being wise with their budgets. So they have this, as you can see at the top there. This has been this was made in 1916, and so you can see some of the old windows up there. You can see some of the paint starting to chip above, and it looks like what they've done down here is they have selectively replaced over time some of the windows. And the color that they did a really nice color match to this tan color. Let me see if I can zoom this back out here. How do I zoom this back out? Come on, phone. Why are you not doing that? Anyway, I'll just have to do some more zoom stuff, because apparently this thing doesn't want to zoom, but that's okay. So they're doing stuff a little bit at a time, which makes sense at a place this big. Fix what's needed. Now, I don't know how well you can tell this right here. You can see, of course, the soffits on this place are peeling. I mean, that's going to happen. I mean, something that's built in 1916 is going to have, 100-year-old paint and 100-year-old oil paint underneath that. So the fact that that's failing is no surprise. But what you'll notice is on the fascia. So the soffit is, don't know how to do this. We're going to work at the flat bit, and the fascia is the stuff that's sort of parallel to the wall below the eaves trough. But the fascia looks really, really smooth. Now what they've done is let me flip this around, is they have done a really good job with matching new aluminum soffit to their new color scheme. And it looks really good. And it looks like they replaced the eaves troughs at the same time whenever they did that. So I anticipate at some point they're going to decide to reclad that, but it's not necessary. It doesn't do anything crazy for the building. It's at the side of the building, so it looks like they're making some wise decisions. I don't know what's going on up in that tower. I'm assuming they're leaving the tower for the very end, because I don't know if they go up in that tower or what the deal is. But the thing just sort of I want to illustrate with this, with something like this, is there's going to come a time when you're going to have to make a cost calculation between repainting and replacing the underlying material. Because anytime, unfortunately, even with the best stuff, when you're doing repaints, it's going to last could nowadays last like 10 years. Or longer if you have, especially this the soffits that they have right there. Stuff will last 10 years, but it's still only 10 years. I'm guessing they want to have this Firehall working for the next 100 years, not just this first 100 years. So putting in new windows and getting a factory spray job makes a ton of sense. So good on them for making some good decisions. Now, factory stuff sometimes doesn't have the same character. And so what they've done down here, let me flip this around again, see if it works. Yeah, all right, is they've painted the actual fire doors and the trim around the fire doors. The trim around the fire door, the wood is probably original, and there's a couple places where it's failing there in the bottom corner. But that's easy enough to touch up. Like, that's really easy to access. It's inexpensive to access, unlike the stuff that's up there on the third floor. So some smart decisions here. When you are, by the way, if you're looking for to do some painting, or decide whether or not you should be painting or replacing, I just live around the corner. I live on Winona Drive. I'm on Henderson right now. Give me a shout. I'll swing by and give you a quote. You can also go to SilkySmooth.ca if there's a $400 gift card there and a link to my contact card. So, without rambling too much longer, if you want to, there are times when it makes sense to repaint, and there are times when it makes sense to replace. So replace is generally going to last longer, perform better, generally more expensive. Especially when it comes to exterior stuff. Repainting is great to freshen up, still protect wood, protect stuff that's in good condition, but is starting to show wear and tear. And to get a new look. That's what it's really, really good for. So I'm good on the fire station number 25/343, whoever that is. I'm not sure. I guess it's 343 now. For making some wise decisions here. And if you want some help determining your options, SilkySmooth.ca. My phone number's there, and there's also a $400 gift card there as well. So thank you very much, and we will see you soon. Take care.